HRV, it stands for heart rate variability, and this is probably our best metric to track recovery, right? Because the equation to get better at something is stress plus recovery equals adaptation. Adaptation is what we're seeking. So heart rate variability is a measure of the variance in the beats per minute. So say your heart rate's 60 BPM, it's not like it beats every second on the second. There's going to be some variance in that, and that's good. So you want variance. If you don't have variance, that's a sign of poor recovery. And there's a good reason for that. It's tied to your breath, right? So as you inhale, your heart rate temporarily goes up, speeds up. As you exhale, temporarily goes down. So if you're taking short breaths, shallow breaths, and breathing rapidly because you're stressed, you're not going to have a lot of variance. If you're taking deep inhales and exhales, you're going to see a lot more variance. So that's sort of the relationship between the nervous system and breathing. So how do we use these things? This one is the Morpheus that I love. And I'll talk about some devices in a minute here. So what you're looking for, it's going to spit out a score. So you run the test in the morning to see what your heart rate variability score is. And, you know, the higher to 100, the better. Today I was 100% recovered. But you have to look at what you did the day before, or maybe days leading up to this morning, and see what may be affecting that. So then you take that number and you can gauge how you want to plan your day in terms of working out and what you want to accomplish. So if I had worked out yesterday and I got a 100% recovery score today, that's telling me I probably didn't work out hard enough. If I worked out yesterday and I had a 50% recovery, well, that means I killed it in the gym, but maybe I should take a day off or maybe do some light aerobic work or something like that. So if you work out hard and you hit an 85, 85 is kind of the perfect number. That's what you're trying to target, the 85% recovery, and then you know you can keep going at that level. So that's how you use it. Some devices on the market that I'm aware of are Morpheus, as I mentioned, the Whoop Strap, the Oura Ring. There's other ones too, but those are kind of the three best that I know of right now. So what happens to plummet your HRV scores? There's certain things you can do to make it tank, basically. So first of all, excessive stress. So stress is good to a point. If it's too much, and even like way too much training can do this, alcohol, right? Poor sleep, and using electronics, particularly at night. You really want to keep electronics like 2 hours away from sleep. If you have to use electronics, you have to work something like that on your laptop, get blue light blocking sunglasses, it might help. So it's basically most of the things that we know we're not really supposed to do. That's what's going to tank your HRV. Things to improve HRV, seek parasympathetic behavior. So you got your sympathetic, your fight-or-flight response system, and then you get your parasympathetic, turn off the alarm, the relax and digest system. So you can seek parasympathetic behaviors that will improve your HRV. Things like prioritizing your sleep. This is the biggest one. Massage, walking in nature, your gaze. Your gaze is highly tied to your nervous system. So a fixed gaze, so looking at a phone, a fixed gaze, that's very sympathetic. Whereas using your peripheral vision, looking at the horizon or sunset, that's a parasympathetic because the gaze is non-fixed. Breath work. So there's a lot of ways to use breath work to be either sympathetic or parasympathetic. Just a little clue, belly breathing is more of a parasympathetic behavior. Also seeking hormetic stressors. So think active recovery. So this is where the cold baths and use of saunas come in. It is a stressor. It has a rebound effect and you recover better because of it. And aerobic, so light aerobic work. So just doing walks. You'd be surprised what doing some walking does for your sleep and your recovery.